Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and we're live for Sunderland against Arsenal. How are you all doing? Yes, well look, this is a very interesting game, obviously in the context of the title race. Really good opportunity for Arsenal tonight to go and get a really big lead ahead of that Liverpool against Manchester City game. Let's have a look at the league table actually just before we start. You can see it's looking good for Arsenal anyway. You know, Spurs not beating United means they don't go to 20 points. Man United, we could have gone to 20 points as well. So, you know, that's a little bit of a gap. Not that Arsenal would be worried about Man United or Spurs in the title race anyway. I mean, let's get real. Let's get real about it. But, yeah, the big opportunity is Man City play Liverpool tomorrow. And if Arsenal can win tonight, which I think they will, it just psychologically puts a very big gap, a 9-point gap, in fact, ahead of Manchester City even before they kick a ball. So, yeah, I think it's very much interesting. Let me just have a quick look at that. Yeah, still. I can't believe people are saying that Sesko needed to stay on the pitch and fight for the team. Oh my God, it's 2025. And we've got armchair fans saying that a player that's clearly can barely run should stay on the pitch for 5 minutes to help the team out. I mean, tell me you've never played football in your life without telling me you've never played football in my life. I know this is an Arsenal stream, but there are people out there getting interaction saying that Sesko should have stayed on the pitch. The guy could barely fucking walk. He might not have had a good game, but literally, he might be out for 2 months, and you think it's a good idea for him to run around on something for 2 months, for 10 minutes. Come on. He didn't have a good game, but blaming him for not coming off. Get with it. Get with it. Sports science people, maybe look into it. Anyway, let's see this game tonight. I'm interested in it. I'm interested in your thoughts. Obviously, I'm not particularly happy with that United performance. Some people call it progress. I call it shit. I think nearly losing and drawing to a Spurs side like that, who were terrible at home, who Chelsea could have beat 6-0 last week, is an embarrassment. But fair play. There are other results that have taken place today. So I think that sorry, I'm just fair play. There are other results that took place today, like I said. Everton have beaten Fulham 2-0 and West Ham have beaten Burnley 3-2, which means I'm actually perfect on win, lose or draw so far because I predicted a draw for United, I predicted an Everton win and I predicted a West Ham win. I also predicted an Arsenal win and a Chelsea win, so I could have 5 from 5 here tonight. But let's have a look at the lineups. Players are on the pitch. Obviously, Arsenal have got some injury concerns at the moment themselves. They have no Gyökeres. He's got a bit of a knock at the moment, and I think Saliba is also Saliba is playing. I forget who else is injured, but anyway, that's the Sunderland team. This is only genuinely this is the only the second time I'm watching them play this season. Sunderland in a 90-minute game. I watched them play against United. They were rubbish. And I'm watching them play against Arsenal tonight and I expect them to lose as well. But you can't argue with the fact that they have been very good. So maybe I'll get shocked. I don't know whether anybody thinks they might actually get something here. They've got a very, very good home record. Arsenal, Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, Eze, Zubamendi, Rice, and then Saka, Marino, and Trossard. No established striker in this side for them tonight because obviously Havertz is injured. I think Jesus is still an Arsenal player, but Gyökeres is injured as well. In relation to home records, they have not lost a game at home this season, Sunderland. So that's what Arsenal are up against. But Arsenal have a very good away record as well. 1-4, lost 1. That one loss being a Szoboszlai worldie for Liverpool. So it's interesting. I mean, look, I don't know. I don't know what the consensus is in the chat. I'm very, very much expecting an Arsenal win. But look, this Premier League has been exciting at times, and I certainly would like to see a title race that's interesting. And as much as I'd rather Arsenal win the league over Liverpool or Man City, I would also like to see a bit of a title race as well. So, you know, if Sunderland could do something here tonight, I think it would make things very interesting in relation to the game tomorrow between Man City and Liverpool. So, look, maybe they can. I think the story of the game might be a little bit predictable in the sense that we get to see a well-organised Arsenal not concede again. I mean, how many games have they actually not conceded a shot on target, let alone goals? So we might see that again. We might see the set piece again. What I really want to see tonight, I tell you what I want. What I really, really want is I really want to see a performance from Sunderland. You know, they're doing so well in the league at the moment. I really do hope that they can give us a performance, because they obviously are putting in performances all over the place, which I'm not seeing. So I really hope that they can give us a bit of a game. But so many people approach the Arsenal with this defensive nature. And I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Please do share the video, by the way. Saturday night dance. I like the way you move. I've already had a drink tonight. I'm not even going to lie. I was very, 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 very annoyed with United's draw with Spurs, even though we nearly lost. I just been very pissed off. Basically went out with the missus and Seb and the dog. Went down to the local. Had a glass of red wine and a bit of a chat and a bit of chill. And you know what? That's what you need. That's what you need. No, I'm not telling everybody to go and have a glass of wine. You might not be able to for age or religious, or just might not want to reasons. But it was a nice little bit of a break. So yeah, very much looking forward to this game tonight. Very much looking forward to Liverpool's Man City game tomorrow. Where was the Bundesliga last night? Technical problems. I mean, this isn't actually my proper camera. It's not too bad, but this is not a proper camera. This is like a, you know, may as well be doing it off my phone, but it's not too bad. But I have got a new camera now. I need to set it up tomorrow, but it all just went wrong. All went wrong. Did Seb have a few? Seb has lemonade and blackcurrant, and actually thinks he thinks he's quite with it, because he thinks that pubs are doing him a favour when they put blackcurrant in the lemonade. He thinks that's quite a, you know, it's a bit like when you get, what is it, a snake bite at a pub, which is half lager and half cider? A snake bite? You're not legally allowed to serve that. So Seb thinks that when he gets them to put blackcurrant in his lemonade, he's like really, you know, doing something that they're not allowed to do. I almost feel like they should give him a glass of lemonade and the glass of the blackcurrant to pour in himself. But yeah, it's not a bad drink. I mean, I never used to have that. I used to have an appetizer when I was a kid, or a lemonade. Emre says, is it true? First super chat of the night. Is it true Arsenal's a bigger club than United? My Arsenal supporter friend told me United had always been a smaller club. Just wanted to verify. I mean, it doesn't really mean anything, because Arsenal are better than Man United, and Man United and Arsenal are top of the league. But Man United are a bigger club, of course they are. I mean, even Arsenal fans would admit that. But it's a bit of a shit conversation, because I don't want to have it. Because, oh yeah, Man United's a bigger club than Arsenal, but the reality is Arsenal are better than Man United at the moment. So what do you get for that? It doesn't mean anything. It's a bit like the Arsenal fans who were moaning that Arteta didn't win Manager of the Month. We've just been bloody drawn at Spurs. Thanks for that. Thanks for the jinx. But Amrin won Manager of the Month because we went to Anfield and won. We both won 3 games, but we went to Anfield and won. So it obviously gave him a little bit more credibility. Anyway, thanks for your super chat, Emre. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, as always. Early throw-in for Sunderland here, and it's going to be a long one. Don't you just love the Premier League? I love the long throw. Yeah, just love the long throw. Here we go. What's the referee doing now? Fucking hell. You'd think they might have remembered the linesman's flag. These refs. He's broke his flag. You're fired. Broken my flag. My flag won't work. Can you get me a new flag? Right, long throw from Sunderland. Yay. Big long throw. Headed away. Headed away. And what's happened to the Premier League, eh? Long throws and set pieces. Another throw into Sunderland. Will it be a long throw? You bloody better will be. You bloody better think it will be. Here we go. Another long throw. I can't believe what the Premier League has become. I can't believe this is it now. The first 2 minutes of a Premier League 5:30 kickoff, and most of it has been waiting for a guy to launch it into the box. And there it is. And it's flicked on, and Declan Rice has got it, and he brings it away, and Trossard has got it, and he gives it to Rice. Can he get up the pitch and win a long throw? No, I'm joking. I just watched your match reaction, and it reminded me of your reactions from the Ollie days, saved by moments and wrong game management. I worry, says George. I am doing an 8 o'clock show on the United Stand tonight, and it's called What Progress? I think it's time. I really do. I think some people are just being fooled by progress because we're better than last year. A dead fucking rabbit would be better than last year. You know, a dead rabbit lying on the road, shitting out its mouth would be better than last year. You can't just go, it's like bloody, progress is not just being better than last year. That's not just progress, I'm sorry, not in my opinion. You can't just go, well, it's better than last year, because everything's going to be better than last year apart from relegation. Is it good enough? No, I think we've fucked up. I think we've dropped 4 points in the last 2 games. Bada bing, bada boom. Anyway, we're here to watch Arsenal. And it's going to be another long throw in from Declan Rice. Great game. I've just tweeted it there. First 4 minutes and the highlights are 4 long throws. It's disgusting. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you think it's moaning, but I don't think this is progress, people. I don't think in 2025, the first 5 minutes of a live televised game should be watching multi-millionaire footballers launch throw-ins into the box. And they're both doing it. I don't know how we've ended up back here. I don't know how we've ended up back here in football. I don't know. This would have been laughed at 5 years ago. Would have been laughed at 20 years ago. It's like Brian Clough said, if God wanted us to play football in the air, he'd have given, I don't know what the rest of the line is, but, you know, it's football. Keep it on the bloody ground. Any other striker would have scored at least one of the 2 chances Sesko had, and it would have been a totally different story. Shut up, mate. You're talking out your arse, Yusuf. So you blame it. Basically, you just want to blame Sesko for what happened today. Yeah, good analysis of football. That. Don't blame it on the captain who was fucking shit and bottling 50-50s. You know, don't acknowledge the fact that Lemens made 2 massive saves that they could have scored. It's football, not handball, says Adas. Arsenal will win this, says Rub, and then Chelsea will drop points later tonight. I just know this deep down. Come on, Xhaka, please slap fraud Arteta. Rub is a Chelsea fan, by the way. What was I going to look at? Oh, yeah, I know. Got an injury here. He doesn't look very good, does he? Oh, he's all right. Moreno. I thought he'd been knocked out. Doesn't seem to be a lot of concern from his teammates there when he literally looks like he's been knocked out. Charlie Garrison, good question for everybody here. He says, well, let's get this. There's an injury here, so this is a good question. Charlie Garrison says, what's the issue with long throw-ins coming back to the Premier League? Genuine question, not banter. To me, mate, it's like, why do you love football? Why do you love football? I like Lionel Messi taking on 4 players and putting it in the top corner. I like a screamer from 30 yards. I like a passing move that ends with a goal. I like, you know, team unity and rhythm. I like to see well-constructed goals. I don't like to see, give me a towel, throw it in, let's see who it can deflect off so we can get a tap in or a header. I think it's just, I mean, let's put it this way. If your kid was playing football, would you want them to be coached by a guy who says, when you get the ball, boot it long? When we get a throw in, just throw it into the crowd and hope it hits somebody and goes in. It's, I wouldn't say it's anti-football. I don't mind it in moderation, but it's becoming the way that everyone's playing at the moment. And everybody's doing it because football's become quite marginal. You know, fine margins. If Arsenal tried to play the way they want to play, teams park the bus and nullify them. So they have to find a way of scoring goals. So they find a way of scoring goals. And that is through set pieces, long throw-ins, whatever. So we have a bit of an identity problem because, you know, if you're Arteta, you'd probably say, look, if I try and pass my way through them, they just park the bus. It's very, very difficult. If I work really hard on the corners and the set pieces, then we can score goals. Arsenal would get relegated in a goals cage, says Robert McCormack. And yeah, you can't have throw-ins or set pieces. Hopefully it forces teams to keep the ball in play, says Benjamin. Is it crazy to say Mbeumo is a top 5 right winger right now, says Mystify? He's one of the top 5, well, in the Premier League, I think, at the moment. Yeah, probably. Moreno's injured here, so we're having a bit of a break. I've got quite a connection in the head from the elbow of the Sunderland player. And they wouldn't really want to be losing him because they don't really have anybody else. And we saw Bergvall going off with concussion last week. But he is going to come back on. Logan says it's going to be a penalty. It's definitely not going to be a penalty, mate. So we're back running. Will Arsenal be okay with injuries this season, says Amar? Oh, I think that's one of the exciting things for Arsenal fans and one of the complimentary things as non-Arsenal fans can say about the summer activity of Arsenal. I think Arsenal made some interesting first-team signings in the likes of Gyökeres, Zubimendi and potentially Eze, but the likes of Kepa, Mosquera, Norgard, Madueke, they really are squad players that allow you to, when you pick up injuries, carry on. And they've already carried on, haven't they? With the likes of, you know, Havertz has been injured a while, Odegaard's been injured, Saka's been injured, Saliba's already been injured. So they have got a squad for it. I suppose the only problem is probably striker at the moment because Gyökeres is injured, Havertz is injured, and Jesus is injured. I mean, there becomes a point where injuries can derail you. You only hate long throws because Dalot takes them for Man United and you've got an agenda against him, says Slow Motion Potion. Mate, if you think I've got an agenda against Dalot, that's something I can live with. I mean, I don't do agendas, but if you think I've got an agenda against Dalot, I'm not even going to argue about it because I don't care if you think I've got an agenda against Dalot because he's crap. But I don't, but he is crap, so I'm not bothered. Spurs and games look the same. Can be worked on. Also, English football is long balls and 4-4-2. The tiki-taka was better as it nullified that, so not as bad, says Kun. Thank you very much. I've seen more of the linesman as the highlights reel in the first 10 minutes than anything. I mean, this is... What is it about the 5:30 game? It's turning into the 12:30. The same last week. First half, Chelsea Spurs last week was bloody dreadful. The ball was never in play. It's the same again. So stop-start. Tobe says it was a deliberate elbow to the face. Why not a penalty? I've got to say, when I first saw it, I didn't think it was a foul. I'd have to see it again. Nice ball into Timber. He will get there down the right-hand side. Sorry. Well, let's hope Sunderland can give a bit of a game here. I mean, from what I've heard about Sunderland, they are a very energetic side and they do work really hard. And, I mean, they're clearly going to stay up. Here's Zubimendi, though. Bad pass. Eze. I don't think Sunderland will just sit back and park the bus. I might be wrong. I mean, they've got a lot of players back at the moment, but... Callum says, are you doing the Chelsea match? More importantly, who's watching the Chelsea match? I mean, for God's sake, Chelsea-Wolves at 8 o'clock on a Saturday. I don't even know if I'd watch that if it was a Chelsea fan. I mean, it's 3 points. Absolutely dog shit game, that is. Free kick here. Gabriel fouled on the edge of the Sunderland box. Shay says, I'd rather go to bed than watch that. Can you do a poll on who's better, Mbeumo or Kudus, says Mystify? No. Well, I will do it, but it's the biggest waste of time poll of this season. I mean, I actually don't know what's wrong with you even asking that question. There you go. Worst poll of the season, but you can all do it. It raises a good point by accident, though. I mean, that was a Spurs side without Kudus, without Bergvall. I think that's two of their better players. Another stop-start. Oh, God. I do often question why I watch these 5:30 games. Bloody hell. I just want to see the ball in play. I mean, it's good for conversation, but I don't know about you, but I just can't believe that free kick happened about 2 minutes ago. It's a free kick. It's a standard free kick. At some point, these referees have got to realise when they give a free kick, if you say to the players you've got 30 seconds, they'll take it in 30 seconds. But, I mean, that free kick was just a bog standard free kick. And we've waited 2 fucking minutes for this free kick to be taken. Straight at the keeper, palms it away. They've got to get a hold on this. It's not the players' fault. It's not the manager's fault. It's certainly not the fans' fault. But you can't have a free kick where nobody's injured, where you're letting 2 minutes go by. Like, the players are paid a lot of money, and they're very good players. They can take a free kick in 30 seconds. They don't need 2 minutes. Here we go, this is a long throw-in again now. So the throw-in was about 20 seconds ago. Long one from Declan Rice. Cleared away, booted away. Another one, another long throw-in. No, he's going to go short, or is he going to go long? He's not going to go long this time. The highlights is going to be full of long throws, says Sam. We've had more long throws than passes. That's a lie. Rub, I will go out for my walk now so that I can get back for the Chelsea game. It's Premier League, so I will watch it. Thanks, Rub. Buddy says, I'm fairly sure the FA will introduce an 8-second rule on throw-ins next year. I think they need to do it for free kicks as well. We only get 45 minutes in a half. And if there are 3 or 4 free kicks, that's 8 minutes gone. 8 minutes guaranteed gone because they'll take bloody ages to take them. Corner to Arsenal. Ooh, we know what we think about that. It's an interesting point from Dan. He says, do you think football could go like the NFL, where you can make unlimited subs, and then when there's a long throw-in, you just bring a load of big players on, and then when it goes out, you can bring all the passing players back on again? Oh, no, hope not. Short corner from Arsenal. Rice. Absolute shit, that was. Yeah, just whip it in next time. Barry says, do you blame the officials for letting the delays happen? Yeah, they're rubbish in this country. They do not understand as officials in this country that their job is to be not seen and not heard. Like, you know, they don't understand that their job is to officiate football games, which is an entertainment sport that people pay to watch because they want to see goals and action. They don't want to see you. So their job is to speed the game up. These players are fitter than we've ever had. They earn more money than they've ever had. They need to get the ball in play more. And they don't. They slow it down all the time. My friend is delusional Spurs fan, says Mystify, so I had to ask for the poll to silence him. Also, much love from Norway. Well, you've silenced him. 76% have gone with Mbermo and 24% with Kudos. I mean, Kudos is a good player, but... I mean, if I was Spurs today, I'd be bloody over the moon with that result. I know you thought you were going to win at the end, but it ain't Christmas. But that draw, you're just lucky you caught a United side that can't be arsed in the second half. I don't know how we nearly lost it, let alone drew it. International breaks coming up. Yeah, well, don't forget, this time next week, I'll be about 7 hours into my all-day charity stream. Every Saturday on the November international break, we do this. We've raised hundreds of thousands of pounds. I've got lots planned for you next Saturday, so make sure you are tuning in for that one. I am doing England-Serbia on Thursday night as well. But just looking at when we come back in 2 weeks' time from the international break, Chelsea start it off again, 12:30, Burnley-Chelsea. Bloody hell. Why did Chelsea get such shit games on telly? Man City go to Newcastle. Liverpool play Forest at 3 o'clock. Arsenal-Tottenham on the first Sunday back. NLD. And we don't play till Monday night. Oh, God. Monday fucking night football. Sunderland on the attack. Do something. He's fell over. Oh, my God. I didn't mean that. He's in the box and he's fell over. When's the next Saturday 8 o'clock game? 29th, Tottenham against Fulham. Oh, yeah, I'll be watching that. We're playing at 12 o'clock on the 30th of November. What the hell? Seems to be a lot of 8 o'clock games this year. Midweek, first week in December, there's a midweek Premier League fixtures. Oh, I love those. That must be the first one of the year. I remember when we used to get midweek Premier League fixtures quite a lot. We really don't get them anymore, do we? And then they put United on a Thursday. Surprise, surprise. What a surprise. Back on a Monday again on the 8th. I can't believe how many Monday night games we've got. One Boxing Day game. Crap. Stop moaning. Either or, best 2 players in the world versus best coach in the world. What does that even mean, Mick? Don't even understand that. Can't understand that. Best 2 players in the world versus the best coach in the world. What are they doing? Cooking. Richarlison celebrated like it's a final, says Milford. Mate, I do not know. I mean, there might be a hidden meaning, but if you haven't seen Richarlison's second goal for Spurs celebration, I don't know what that was. I mean, look, he might have had something going on in his life, but he celebrated it like he'd won the World Cup for Brazil. Take the credit, I suppose. He scored against United. The ref game flow issues never happen in other top 5 leagues. English football plays maybe 60 to 65 minutes of real football. Other leagues are 80 minutes plus, says King. Thank you very much. To be fair, when this game flows, it's not too bad. Like, Sunderland aren't parking the bus. There is potential for this to be a good game. Apparently means who would you rather have, the best 2 players in the world or the best coach in the world? Well, I think you're nothing without a coach, really. I mean, who are the 2 best players in the world at the moment? Would you rather have them managed by Southgate, or would you rather have a good squad managed by Pep or someone like that? Anyway, thanks for all your super chats. We've got nearly 10,000 watching. Please do share the video. Get involved with the channel. definitely a more open game. When was the last time Arsenal conceded a goal? I don't know, but they've only conceded 3 this season. What the bloody hell was that? Sunderland player there just laid it off on the edge of his box, but laid it off to Eze, and Eze just puts it over the bar. Newcastle was the last time they conceded a goal, says Jay. Who can really stop Arsenal, City or Liverpool, says 3 Points Channel. Look, it's a long season, a very long season. If Arsenal were to, let's say, draw here and then draw against Spurs after the international break, that's 4 points dropped. 4 points dropped for Arsenal would put them on 30. That's 3 games for Man City to take 3 points tomorrow, 3 points, 3 points. So you could make points up. And that's how you've got to look at it. It's very early in the season to say that Arsenal have won the title. I think they will win the title, but they're going to go through a bad run at some point. And rightly or wrongly, the one thing that everyone says about Arsenal is that they do have a vulnerability, and everyone's waiting for that slip up and how they react to it. I think they will beat Spurs at the Emirates quite comfortably. Obviously, you may have detected that I'm very, very disappointed that Manchester United didn't beat Spurs, but Arsenal are a different animal at the Emirates as well. So, but you know, it's like Sam Hodges says, Arsenal are Arsenal's biggest problem. But it's difficult at the moment to consider where Arsenal would drop points because they just aren't conceding chances. I mean, there's not been a chance in this game. And that's a foul. Also, I think this is another problem in the Premier League as well. Like, is this a foul on Timber? To me, it's a 50-50 ball, just let it go. But they like to stop the game all the time. And every time the game... There was a brilliant passage in the Man United Spurs game today. Very rare for the Premier League. It was about 3 minor fouls and the referee let it go. And it was brilliant. For about 40 seconds, it was brilliant because they looked like fouls that would normally be given in the Premier League and he let them go. And it was good to watch. And it didn't lead to a goal or anything, but it was just good to watch because the game just carried on. It didn't get stopped for a silly soft foul. And I think I'd love to see that change as well. You know, it doesn't take much for a referee to know what's a soft foul and what's not. And if you start going in your head, I'm not going to give them, then it will work itself out. And it's such a better spectacle when the game just flows. Anyway, I didn't answer the question, 3 Points Channel. Who do I think can stop Arsenal? I don't think it's going to be Liverpool. And I don't think it's going to be Man City, to be honest. So I would go back to what Sam said. I think the only people who can stop Arsenal are Arsenal. You know, if Arsenal just started dropping lots and lots of points, allowing everybody else to get back into it, then, you know, that would be very interesting. Lefay's just gone down here after a tackle by Timber. It didn't look particularly bad to me, but the Sunderland players are complaining about it. No. He stamps down to get the ball. But whilst it's dangerous, it's certainly not a red. Arteta didn't even think it was a foul. It was. Look, why don't I think Liverpool can challenge Arsenal? Because I don't think they're out of the woods yet. I think if they lose tomorrow, that's basically it anyway. Like, I don't think Liverpool can afford to lose another game. And I don't feel like Liverpool are out of the woods yet. I mean, look, if Liverpool play to the very best of their ability, win tomorrow, get Isak performing like he will do at some point, and they go on a good run, they're right in the race. Of course they are. But I just don't feel that Liverpool are there yet. I think they will get there. Maybe they'll win the Champions League, but I just don't feel they're out of the woods yet. I don't think they're quite at it yet. Tomorrow's a big game for them. If they could go and win tomorrow, that gives them the breathing space to build something. Ooh, a shot, but not on target for Sunderland. Isidore. There's another player down injured here. Yeah, just while this player's injured, let's have a quick look at Liverpool's next few games. So, yeah, Man City tomorrow, Forest at home, West Ham away. These are Premier League games. So, Man City away, then they come back after the international break. It's Forest at home, then it's West Ham away, then it's Sunderland at home, then it's Leeds away, then it's Brighton at home, then it's Spurs away, then it's Wolves at home. So, they could technically, if they beat Man City, look to try and win 5 or 6 wins in a row and hope that somewhere along the line Arsenal drop some points. Whether they can mastermind a win tomorrow is up for debate. Arsenal's next few games, obviously Sunderland here, come back and play Spurs at home, Chelsea away. So, to be fair, like if Liverpool could win tomorrow or Man City, you might look at Arsenal's next two league games and go Tottenham and Chelsea. You'd hope that they would drop at least maybe 2 points across there. Then they've got Brentford at home. Okay, Villa away. Maybe there's something there. Wolves at home. Everton away. Maybe there's something there. Crystal Palace at home. Brighton at home. Villa at home. Look, if someone's going to challenge Arsenal, they're going to have to win a lot of games in a row. Anyone but Arsenal for the title, says C. Moodley. Vicky says, I love your channel. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Vicky. Thanks for your support. Another break in the play here, unfortunately. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're on 435,920. So we're only 80 subscribers away from 436. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. I mean, we can't do anything about this, but another player down here with a head injury. I think there's going to be a lot of added time. Very, very stop-start game, this one. Akil says, Sunderland are one of the better teams this year. They're getting Europe at the end of the year, at least Conference League. I feel like him. That is a good highlight of this half. A bloke sat on a chair, not even looking at the ground. Fucking hell. I tell you what, I feel like I'm a jinx on the 5:30 games. Anyway, we're about to get up and running again here. I went into a trans there. Is that right? Is that the right word? I wouldn't want to get taken out of context about something there. Like, yeah, it is. I went into a, yeah, that's right. Definitely nothing sexual. Yeah, that's it. Trans refers to a hypnotic, semi-conscious mental state. There we go. The mental state involves a reduced level of self-awareness and is often associated with synopsis or deep absorption. Well, there we go. You can also get trans music. What does it mean to be in a trance? In a trance means being in a temporary state of semi-consciousness where a person is not fully aware of their surroundings and seems to have lost voluntary control of their actions, which is exactly what I did. I also thought I'd said something that was, well, look, some people might quite like it from a sexual point of view. Not for me. I'm happily married. Each to their own. That's what I say. Evan Whelan says that period is tough for Arsenal. They've got Bayern too. Yeah, they've got Spurs at home in the league. Then they've got Bayern at home in the Champions League, which will be a cracking game. And then we've got the Chelsea-Arsenal game as well. It's getting a bit tasty here. Jacques has gone in on Moreno. It's really aggressive out there, you know. I mean, I'm not opposed to that. Shaq has had a few red cards for Arsenal over the years. Oh, it's such a perfect day. I'm glad I spent it with you. Boo, 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 boo. Would you like Sunderland to get a result? I would for the league. Yeah. I mean, I'd rather Arsenal win the league over Man City and Liverpool for obvious reasons, but I would like to see a title race. You know, I don't want Arsenal to win it so much that they're 30 points clear. I just want them to win it on the final day against Man City or Liverpool or something like that. So, yeah, I'd love Sunderland to get something because it's always a bit boring when somebody shot by Saka there but no power on it. It's always a bit boring if somebody just runs away with it. Do I hate City? Well, I don't hate anybody, David. I think it's immature when people describe a indifference towards something as hate. Hate's a very strong word, and I don't carry hate because it's bad for you. I don't like City, but in fairness, I've watched their last two games and they played very, very well in both of them. Foden was brilliant the other night. Haaland's one of the best strikers in the world at the moment. They're better on the eye as well. I prefer this style of football than previous years. It's not tiki-taka anymore. It's a little bit more transitional. It's a little bit more direct. And it's a little bit less boring. So, you know, always fair analysis, yeah? It's not a diplomatic bullshit answer, HT, to say that you don't hate people or things. I've said this to you before for many years. If you carry hate, you're just damaging yourself. I haven't done it for many years. It's just no point. Hate lives in you. That's not good. You shouldn't do it. If you are somebody who's a hater, you need to sit and go, why do I hate it? Sunderland play with no fear. It's a great watch, says Josh. Who would you rather win the title between Liverpool and City? Oh! Goal, Sunderland! Get in! Lovely stuff. They've conceded a goal. Hang it in the Louvre. Arsenal have actually conceded a goal. 1-0 to Sunderland. Now we're talking. Now we are talking. Now we've got a title race maybe. And that's what we want. And it's a lovely, lovely, lovely moment in this game, which has had so much stop-starts. But maybe that plays into the hands of this home crowd. It certainly will do now. It's been a lot of physicality. But it's a long ball forward. Surprise, surprise, by the goalkeeper. Flicked on. Another flick on. And then he's in. Rice getting doubled there. Rice losing the first header. And then losing his man. A good goal as well. And that, tell you what, that's a rarity. It's a rarity that. Almost rarer than a sighting of the Loch Ness Monster. A goal conceded by Arsenal. And there's nothing Raya was going to do about that. So it's goal 4 conceded for Arsenal in game week 11. What a defence. But it's been breached. There we go. Now then. Ballard with the goal. Mukiele with the assist if you're an FPL merchant. Legitimate good goal. Bit of physicality. And I tell you what, I'm now starting to get it. I didn't get Sunderland at all. This is only the second time I've watched them this season. The first time was at Old Trafford and they were shite. Really shite. And I was like, how have they got so many points? They're shit. I now get it. And they're not really part of the bus either. They're very energetic. They're very well organised. And, you know, there's no way they're going to get relegated. Andrew said it was never a free kick. Arsenal are going to have to break this Sunderland rearguard action down now. I thought you liked Arsenal, Mark. I want Arsenal to win the league, but I'm not an Arsenal fan. I am allowed to celebrate the underdog. And as much as I want Arsenal to win the league, and I think they will win the league, I also don't want a boring Premier League title race. Like, if it was Man United at the top, I'd want it over by Christmas. But as Arsenal, I want to see a good title race. I don't support Arsenal, so I don't want to see Arsenal 20 points clear at Christmas. I want to see a title race. So yeah, I want Arsenal to win the league, but I don't want them running away with it. And it'd make it brilliant. Absolutely brilliant for the match tomorrow. And also, can we just say this? We're all talking about this, that, and the other. Let's just take a moment to have a look at where Sunderland are in the league at the moment. Second place with 21 points. It's first against second at the moment. I think that's the first time we've said that as well. I mean, let's not forget that. This is a top of the table clash. And it makes this game more interesting as well. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're only about 70 subscribers away from 435,000. Everybody welcome on That's Football, of course. Are Sunderland in a title race, says Coco. I refuse to believe it. But I refuse to believe it when Leicester did it. The difference is Leicester did it in a season where everybody was shit. Their main rival was Spurs for most of the season. And Spurs bottled second. I think it was Arsenal who came second that year. But yeah. This is a bit different. Can you win? Can an underdog team win the league when Liverpool, Man City and Chelsea have got amazing squads? Very difficult, I think. But I just celebrated the Sunderland goal like Swansea have won 3 championships, says Jack. Arteta! 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 I told you, Arteta, he can't win. You know, Arteta, he's lost the game. Not over yet. I tell you what, though, I think they have really missed Gyökeres. Somebody said about 20 minutes ago, do you think the injuries... First player to score against Arsenal in 812 minutes. 812 minutes, that's nearly 9. That's 9 games. 810 minutes is 9 games. That's mad. Absolutely mad. But yeah, I think not having a striker is a bit of a problem for Arsenal here. And also they're used to scoring first because they don't concede. So it's a real challenge here. I think there's going to be a lot of minutes added on. We are only 4 minutes away from 45, but I think there will be a lot of minutes added on. Oh, it's such a... I'm not singing that because Arsenal are losing. It's just in my head. I'm glad I spent it with you. Oh, my God. Dortmund drew with Hamburg. That's a shock. 1-1. Bayern drew. Union Berlin. What's going on in the Bundesliga? Bayern drew 2-2. We like Union Berlin. We like Union Berlin. We do like Union Berlin. I mean, but this is the home of the Bundesliga here on this channel. But yeah, that's Ilias Answer, and yeah, we like Union Berlin. It's a very good result for them. Kane got a 90th minute equaliser. Wow, the results. I tell you what, the top teams are feeling it today. No. What's going on? My God. Nobody has took advantage of Bayern dropping points. Leverkusen won 6-0. Leipzig in second place lost 3-1 to Hoffenheim. Dortmund drew. And then Bayern drew. So nobody's took advantage of it. Prats. Arsenal are so boring, my eyes are bleeding, says Matthew H. Bailey says, do you think Sunderland will get top 5? I believe they could be dangerous if had chance. Mate, I want Man United to get top 5. And obviously I would want Man United to get it over Sunderland. But there is also a huge... Diaz scored a good goal as well. I haven't looked at it, but we've got the highlights this week, so we'll check that out. But also... I think that, you know, there's a massive part of me and everybody else that would love to see Sunderland or any underdog get top 5. They spent a lot of money though. You know, I know Liverpool spent a lot of money and Arsenal spent a lot of money, but in relegation terms, they did spend a lot of money. Nicholas says, how did Man United beat Sunderland easy? Well, they're not the same team away from home, are they? Like, I think what we're seeing this season is a lot of teams are very good at home. And Sunderland are amazing at home. Also, I think they were missing a couple of players. Am I doing a watch-along for the Chelsea game? God, no. 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 No, no, no. Mark, do you watch 442 Toons and do you like their portrait of you as much? I don't watch it as much as I used to do. I used to watch it all the time, but I do try and catch it when it's United related. Let's see. How many minutes do you think he's going to add on? I think 6. He might go more. But I think minimum 6. Nine! Bloody hell. 9 minutes. Well, I'm not surprised. I'm not actually surprised. What's for dinner tonight, Mark? Says Arch. I got a pie from... Not a cream pie. I'm just getting in there early because that's what the immature chat will say. I got a Sainsbury's Taste the Difference pie that I had a few weeks ago. And I can't remember what it is, but it's got venison in it and bacon in it. And I just thought, you know what? It's very autumnal. I was sat in the beer garden having a glass of red wine earlier. Dry, coldish weather. And I thought, you know what? I love a bit of pie tonight. Not just a game now, is it? Always unsustainable, says Super. So, first job for Sunderland here is to get through these 9 minutes of added time in the first half. Can they do it? Chance for Arsenal to whip across in here. There's all sorts of hands going in the air, like they just don't care. But, yeah, I feel like Arsenal have massively missed Gyökeres. Just because of the physical work he does against the opposition defenders creates a lot of space. Oh my God, what a miss by Saliba. There may have been a foul in the build-up anyway. But it didn't matter because Saliba missed. So cross came in here. I think Saka may have fouled the... No, I think that would have been... I don't think that was a foul, really. They would have looked at it. Maybe it would have been a foul. But the reality is Saliba missed anyway. Oh, it's such a perfect day. I've got to stop singing that. Craig Pawson is trending on X. Why? Oh, because they're saying it shouldn't have been a free kick. People are saying that Arsenal are getting soft free kicks given against them, but Sunderland are allowed to be rough. He's getting absolute pelters on social media. Such a perfect day. Oh, stop it! Stop it! Just stop it! You're doing it. You're doing it now. Has anybody had any update on the injury to Sesko, by the way? Ballard to the World Cup to replace Maguire, says Dial. It's a knee injury. Oh, I didn't know. I thought it was ankle. Mate, as I said at the start, there's people out there getting interaction on social media saying he should have played on and helped the team out. Imagine it. I mean, look, hopefully it's nothing as bad as that. But imagine if he's done his ACL and there's actually people typing he should have played on. Yeah, I don't know whether you've ever had a bad knee injury, but it's not because you can't be arsed that you don't play on. Ballard plays for Northern Ireland. He's got 32 caps, according to Swish. Zana, I normally do get caught out by this. So he just said Goldbridge is going to be screaming that he's adding time on top of added time. I normally, the way my brain works, I'd look at 51 minutes and go, 49 minutes is 9 minutes. But obviously it's 45 plus, so it's 54. I might watch a Christmas film tonight. I just feel I've earned it. Like, I know it's not really Christmas yet, but I just feel like United have pissed me off loads. And I need something that's just pure enjoyable escapism. I might watch Family Man. I like that. Maybe I shouldn't. It's too early. My body's saying, no, it's too early. You're allergic. No, Die Hard's a Christmas Eve film. I watched a good Christmas film last year with the guy who was Robin in Batman, Dark Knight Rises. I can't remember what the name of the film was, but it was quite good. They go on like, I think they're on like some, they're trying to find I think it's set in New York or something, but they're trying to find a secret party or something. It was good. Good cross into the box. That's going to be a corner for Sunderland. Arsenal need to be more creative, says Vaj. Yes, they have been a bit... yeah, they've had a few problems, but this is a good chance. You know, corners in the Premier League are always a chance. Arsenal do defend them well. Oh, and they did defend that well because it had a good trajectory on it. Oh, I tell you what, he hit that one quite well. Side netting, Sunderland again. So we are about to hit half time now, 54 minutes. And that's half time, and they deserved it. They deserved to be in front. Okay, let me, sorry, I just lost the live chat there. Stop the timer. Let's have a look at the stats at halftime. I think that's always very interesting when the underdog is winning. Where is it going wrong for Arsenal? Let me know in the chat what your thoughts are. I personally think it's not just about this. Obviously, that's a bit too simplistic to say. But I do think they're missing Gyökeres. And I think the reason they're missing Gyökeres is because not for the goals necessarily, because as people will say, he's not that prolific. But it's the movement, it's the physicality. It's, you know, he occupies those defenders, he pushes them back, he pushes them wide, he creates more space for the people like Eze and Saka. And Moreno can do a job probably more suited to the Emirates than away at a difficult place. I don't think he can occupy those defenders, and obviously he's had a couple of tackles and, you know, he's been down a couple of times. So I think they are missing him a little bit, what he would bring to the team. How do they change it up? Well, look, the big problem they've got here is that they've had more of the ball, but they've only had 5 shots, and they've only had 2 on target. They've only had 1 corner. So they're not really getting in and around the goal of the Sunderland defence and keeper enough as they would like, which blunts and nullifies the threat of people like Gabriel and Saliba. So they're not getting into that final third area even enough to win corners. So the theme of the game at the moment would be very much comfortable for Sunderland. I'm not saying they're going to win, but they're certainly in a strong position at the moment, and deservedly so as well. Look, I wouldn't say that they are home and hosed yet. There'll be a lot of work, and Arsenal, but what I'm saying is, in the context of Arsenal dropping points, they've got to score 2 goals here to turn this into a win. And in that first half display, I actually cannot envisage that at the moment. That's how competitive Sunderland have been and how nullified Arsenal have been. I mean, I look at the bench for Arsenal and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, what can they actually do to change things up? I mean, not a lot. Not a lot in relation to... They could do with... I mean, Mosquera, Lewis Skelly, Hincapié, they're all defenders. Nwaneri, Norgard, White, Dauman. Dauman and Nwaneri are probably your best creatives, but are they going to really get you up the pitch? I don't know. I think it becomes quite difficult. So look at what people are saying. The Night Before Christmas movie you were on about, so good. Deck the Halls with Danny DeVito is good as well, says Nicholas. Thank you to Nicholas and Philip for your super chats there. Nathan says, Sunderland moved the advertising board in on manager side because they analysed Rice needs a longer run-up for longer throw-ins versus their players. What's your thoughts? Mate, Teams can narrow pitches. They can do all sorts of stuff. If it's in the rules, it's in the rules. Give Bad Santa a watch. You'll have a laugh with the missus, says Evan Whelan. And thank you very much for those comments as well. Saka is just playing rubbish today. It's unfortunate. A lot of players are injured. Yeah, but you know what? That's from Official Famous. I don't have a massive problem with this. There was a lot of United fans moaning about Cunha today. But this ain't a computer game. Like, this is reality. The best players sometimes have a bad game. It's obviously it's frustrating when you're not winning a game, but like there's very few players that play well every single week, and you can have a bad game. And look, Saka, Eze, Pizza says, "What's up, Mark? Told you we were good." Yeah, we're doing very well at the moment. Very, very well at the moment. But look, we're only at half time, and build on it. Mark, where would you rank the new striker signings that have come to the league? Says that man. It's too early. That means, guy. Sorry, it's too early, in my opinion, because, you know, Voltemeda, Sesko, Ekitike, Isak, Gyökeres. I think it's too early to judge them on the Premier League. In reality, I would go with Isak as the best and Gyökeres as the second best, and then let Ekitike, Sesko and Voltemeda fight it out. I wouldn't be judging them on their first 2 months in the Premier League because Isak's basically been injured and not done particularly well. And maybe you'd put Gyökeres at the top. I don't know. But I think I'd be judging them at the end of the season. And some of them beyond that, because some of them are young. I think Isak and Gyökeres have to deliver now. Whereas I think Ekitike and Sesko and Voltemeda are more for the future. I think one player that we can't rank is Wizza. I mean, what Newcastle were doing there, is it bad luck or is it they desperately needed a striker? Because I don't think he's kicked a ball for Newcastle yet, and he was out of contract at the end of this season, and I don't think he's going to play till after Christmas because of the AFCON. So, you know, it's... yeah. I think Isak will come good, Kevin. I mean, he was a brilliant player at Newcastle. I just think there's been a multiple of issues at Liverpool. But look, if you're Man City or you're Liverpool and you're watching this game, obviously your main focus is actually trying to get some points tomorrow. But opportunity knocks. If this game finished a draw, then Arsenal would be on 25 points. If Man City were to win, they'd be 3 points off Arsenal going into the international break, which is nothing. If Liverpool were to win, they'd be 4 points off Arsenal, which is not that much either. So context is key here. And as I said, in the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich drew today at Union Berlin 2-2. Unfortunately, the teams in second and third lost and drew. So you got to take advantage when these good teams are dropping points. And Arsenal haven't dropped points yet, but I do want to see a title race, and hopefully we can. Yeah, hopefully we can. Oh, I've got to stop doing it. I've got to stop doing it. So, do I expect to see Arsenal make any changes at half-time? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think Sunderland are doing a very, very good job. And I remember one of you saying this a few weeks ago. Like, you know, Arsenal at the moment look like they've got an answer for everything, but you don't in life have ownership of the answer to everything. It's a fleeting thing, especially in football. And at the moment, Sunderland look like they have an answer to Arsenal. So they've got it. Look, I think Arsenal, maybe this is one of those games where they've got to be a little bit expansive. It's hard to be expansive against a team that parks the bus, but they've got to commit. I think when they're playing 0-0 against teams that aren't being expansive, then, you know, sometimes, you know, you'll sit back, etc. But I think that when you're 1-0 down, we would say, I'm trying to get my words out here. So when Arsenal are 0-0, I don't think you're going to chuck men forward and leave space at the back because it's 0-0. But now they're 1-0 down, I think in those circumstances, they're going to have to leave gaps at the back to go forward. So whilst I think it's unfair that people criticise Arsenal for not being too expansive, well, a lot of the time it's 0-0, they're trying to break a team down and score the first goal. So why be ultra expansive? But they're losing this game now. So they're going to have to take risks and push people forward. Nicholas says Sunderland beat us at Stamford Bridge, starting to dislike them badly. Also, my mum was born and bred in Newcastle. There we go, Nicholas. Not a fan of Sunderland. Well, yeah, there'll be plenty of Newcastle fans looking at this, going, "I'm not liking this. How are they doing this?" And they're doing very, very well at the moment. Very, very well. Whether they can look, I'll be happy if they can get a draw. And as I said, it's top of the table clash at the moment. Sunderland are second, Arsenal are first. And as many people have said in the first half, they'd love it if if Sunderland could get into a title race. I'm not so sure how viable that's going to be. I don't think Leicester can be replicated. Especially when Leicester won it, there was a lot of teams who were shit. But yeah, we're just waiting for the second half to start. There was 9 minutes added on in the first half, so we're starting a little bit later. Who do you want to win the Bundesliga, Mark, says Dev? I think Bayern will win the Bundesliga, but I would love to see... I'd like to see Dortmund win it, to be honest. African nations will struggle for Sunderland. They will lose something like 6 players, Adindra, Siddiqui, etc. I mean, that's a great point from Amarito. Sunderland do have a lot of players that are going to go off and play in the AFCON, and there are a lot of games going on then. And just to give you a little bit of a grasp of that, Sunderland AFCON sort of starts middle of December, and this is the fixtures where they'll be missing players. And also Sunderland before that, I've got Liverpool away and Man City away in quick succession. So, and then Newcastle. So Sunderland doing very well at the moment, but Liverpool away, Man City away, and then Newcastle at home are, without doubt, makes it what it is. And then, AFCON, they've got Newcastle at home, Brighton away, Leeds at home, Man City at home, Spurs away, Brentford away, Crystal Palace at home. But look, when you're Sunderland, every game's a bloody challenge anyway, isn't it? I mean, they've done fantastically well. I mean, even as a United fan, I look at the fixtures and I go, there's very... I don't know about you. I mean, obviously, it's probably a little bit different if you're Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal. But... For the rest of us, I don't think you ever look... I mean, there used to be a time in the Premier League where I'd look at the fixtures and go, oh, I fancy us to win the next 5. But I think nowadays it's really difficult to look at it and go like that. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Waiting for this second half to start. We are only 10 subscribers away from 436,000. Our next watch-along is Man City against Liverpool tomorrow. But we've got a great second half coming in. And we've got another load of adverts here. I don't know what's going on. Just waiting for it. I'm just waiting for the game to start. I'm getting withdrawal symptoms here. Incoming Arsenal fans blaming injuries, says Matt. I think Arsenal have done very, very well. I think Arsenal have done very well in their preparation for this season. But the Havertz injury and the Gyökeres injury obviously leaves them limited up front. And when you lose your 2 strikers, your third one probably isn't going to be that good. And Moreno isn't really a striker. I don't think you can really. What else could Arsenal do? Sign another striker? Arsenal's attacking options on the bench are 15, 17 and 18. The starters of the game must find a way to win. Really missing Gyökeres and Martinelli, says Rahul. Of course, yeah, he would be an option as well, wouldn't he? So, we're ready to go for the second half here. No, we're not. They're still in the tunnel. We need a title race, says Tom. Yeah, it's a funny one. What's your prediction for the City-Arsenal game, says Sam? Robbie went with a draw, so I went with a City win. I probably would have gone with a draw, but I'm 2 points behind him, so I just went for a differential, which is what you got to do. But I'd say based on recent form and the fact that it's at the Etihad, and also I've seen United play City and Liverpool. I think City would be the favourites. Yeah. Right, here we are. We're about to go. See if we see a different Arsenal in the first 5 minutes of this half. Eze, ready to start. Here we go. This just makes United's results against Sunderland even better, says Christoph. FIFA Highlights says, I think Liverpool will win at the Etihad tomorrow. No, here we go. Start the second half like we started the first half. Declan Rice ready to launch a long throw. I actually hope nobody scores from a long throw for about 6 months and then people stop doing it. Yeah, Arsenal got to up the tempo here. I'm probably going to hear a lot of fireworks in the background tonight because although Bonfire Night in the UK was on the 5th of November, this is the Saturday closest to the 5th of November. So, and I think it's always the Saturday after the 5th of November. So there'll be a lot of bonfire parties tonight. So you will hear them in the background. Like, you know, last night, not even joking, I don't know what your thoughts are on this. 20 past 11, we'd had no fireworks at all. And then, out of nowhere, about 5 minutes of what can only be described as a proper fireworks display. It wasn't like 2 or 3 being let off in someone's garden. It was like, I don't know what was going on. Remembrance Day. No, I don't think they do it at 20 past 11 on a Friday night. NBA Addict says, how good was Pele? I don't know, first of all, but I was thinking about this the other day because I was watching that interview with Ronaldo where he said, I'm going to score 1,000 goals and they're all going to be on video. So it got me thinking, how did Pele score 1,000 goals? Apparently did it in 1969. No, it can't have been 1969 because he played in the bloody World Cup in 1970. That can't be right. I mean, there's a comment here saying that, as you know, it was always established that he scored 1,000 goals, but as time went on by and people became more meticulous, it actually became accepted that he didn't score 1,000 goals. Corner to Sunderland here. We'll come back to this. Corner to Sunderland. It's a strange one. I want to say strange, shit. Absolutely shit corner. And it's back with the Sunderland goalkeeper. So, yeah, it goes on to say that popular knowledge that he didn't score 1,000 goals, but probably about 750. And the rest was supposedly scored playing with the army, the neighbourhood team, the old guys at the bar, and so on. I don't know whether that's real. Apparently, some people say he claimed he scored 1,200. Shot straight at the keeper. Having witnessed Ronaldo get to 1,000 goals, I don't know how anybody could do it. I really don't, because Ronaldo's barely been injured, started playing competitively as a teenager, and he's still playing in his 40s. So it's not that I don't think Pele was a brilliant player. I just don't know how he could score 1,000 goals, because it's competitively. Because it's, as we've seen with Ronaldo, it's ridiculously difficult to do it. And Haaland's prolific. And somebody was saying that he'd have to score like 50 goals a season for the next 12 or something like that. It's really difficult. Brent for the lethal with the long throw in, says Nicholas. Thanks for your super chats tonight. You can do that through the $, read those out. I am on the United Stand at 8 o'clock tonight, and the title of the show is going to be Progress. What progress? It's not, but it is going to be about that. Hitting it hard. Lovely play by Arsenal down the right-hand side. Timber with the cross. Good defending. Can they defend it from being a corner? Yes, they can. And Arsenal will have to go again. Pressure? What pressure? So nice, we did it twice. We're talking about football there. Chelsea will beat Wolves comfortably, which will put them into... I mean, I was looking at... United drawing could make us be in a shit position in the league. Saka. Oh, it was the best bit of play I've seen from Arsenal all game. Probably would have liked him to have got that on target, Arsenal fans. And to be fair, he had time. It's a lovely first time pass by Zubimendi. And it gives Saka the opportunity. But to be fair, it's a difficult angle. Yeah, so if Chelsea win, they'll go up to potentially second, but certainly third. That'll push United down to 8th. I don't know what the other fixtures are. Crystal Palace play Brighton, don't they? So if Palace won, that would put us down to 9th. Calafiori under a little bit of pressure here. I don't think Villa can go above United or Brentford. Villa are on 15. If Villa win by more than... it's unlikely Villa would go above us. We could go down to 9th if Palace or Brighton don't draw. Basically, if Palace or Brighton win and they're playing each other, they will go above United. If Chelsea win, they'll go above United. So we could be down to 9th by the end of this game week fixture. And if Villa won well against Bournemouth, which they won't, then we could go down to 10th. The more interesting thing is we don't play until the Monday night. So by the time Monday night comes around, we could be like really down the league. Meth says Wolves will beat Chelsea. You must be on meth. Aspect Warrior says, hello, Mark. I've sent you a $4.99 super chat for your tea. This should be it for Arsenal. And it is. Saka, lovely finish. It's a lovely finish. He just had a sighter. I don't know why Sunderland have become so loose at the back. But there's a long, long way. Look out. Playing out from the back. Loads of space. Are Sunderland a little bit naive there? How many players? I don't get that. And I don't know why the keeper gets done on his front post. But why is Sunderland so open? So unnecessary. It's really weird what Sunderland did there. Like, they're 1-0 up against Arsenal. Their keeper's got it. And they pass out from the back with about 3 players in their defence. And Arsenal pressed them with 6 and overwhelmed them. And I'm like, it's a little bit like Bournemouth last week at City. Trying to play a high line, or Villa going to Liverpool and playing out from the back. It's just, it's really, really naive to do that. I mean, Arsenal must think it's Christmas. Well taken goal by Saka, but what Sunderland are doing there, I do not know. I mean, it's to their credit that they're not parking the bus, I suppose, but I'm not doing the Chelsea game, Matthew. Anyway, Aspect Warrior says, I've given you a $4.99 super chat for your tea. You can go to Tesco and grab some beans on toast with cheese. The way this game's going now, Arsenal haven't had to work that hard to get back into it, and you definitely fancy them to go and win it now. Just a little bit naive defensively. But look, there are managers, Amorim, this guy, Emery, Iriola, who obviously have their principles and won't change. I just think, as with Arteta, you've got to be adaptable. When you're 1-0 up against the best team in the league, maybe, just maybe, you play a little bit more compact. Don't try and play out from the back with very few options. Nick P says, forget Pele's record. I scored at least 600 undocumented goals at school. 135-yard volley set up by my maths supply teacher. Yeah, I mean, let's get real. Imagine how many goals we've all scored if we count goals down the park, goals at lunchtime, you know, goals at five-a-side. Hope you're doing well, Nick P. Thank you very much. I'm going to sit down in a minute. I've just realised I've been stood up for bloody ages. I am sitting down. I don't need to sit down for the whole... I don't need to stand up for the whole lot. Oh, just wide. Arsenal getting closer and closer here. Aspect Warrior says, Sunderland seem loose at the back, just like my nan. How do you know about that? Oh, God. Chassis says, is this a new camera, Mark? This is a temporary camera. I have got a new camera. I just need to set it up. Gabe says, the referee is disgustingly bad. Sunderland need a game plan here because it's just Arsenal, Arsenal, Arsenal. And they will score again. Therefore, Sunderland need to find a way to score themselves. I think the keeper could have done a little bit better. Was your desk expensive? No, I did it for an integration. It's a secret lab. Order one for Christmas. It's very good. People keep saying I need to get like one of those walking machines or whatever, but I watched somebody doing it and I think the views would drop. It made me get like motion sickness. I don't if I was constantly going like that, I think it's a bit of a put off. I mean, it'd be great for my fitness, but I just think it looks a bit strange when someone's going like that. Some people probably like it. How'd Arsenal do in the first half, says Billy? They struggled in the first half. Sunderland were definitely the better side, more physical, well organised. But for some reason in the second half, they've opened up a little bit. And that's how Arsenal got the equaliser. Good finish by Saka, but I feel like the goalkeeper could have done a little bit better on his front post. There is an 8 p.m. on United Stand, Matthew. Yes. It'll be a good one as well. We're talking about what progress. Some United fans disappointed with today. Some United fans saying, we're unbeaten. Better than last year. I feel like this Arsenal second goal is coming in any minute. Best five-a-side goal you've ever scored, says Sam. Oh, I mean, I've scored some bloody good goals. I went through a stage where I was playing every week when I was about... Go! Straight at the keeper from Ezzy. Took it well. I went through a stage when I was about in my late 20s, when I was playing every week. And I got to the point where I was so regular playing that I could hit the ball with my laces and make it move. And from anywhere in their half, I was a threat. And I used to score loads. Five-a-side's great. I mean, if you're over the age, five-a-side's brilliant. Good workout and fun. Nicholas says, I completely agree with you about Amorim obsession with Bruno, and it's going to damage United over the full season. Well, it's nothing new, mate. It's been spoken about at the start of the season. It's almost like some of our fans treat it as a, agenda with Bruno. No, most of us were talking about it when we should have sold him to Saudi. It's not an agenda. It's an opinion. And people don't have to change the opinion just because you not want out to posters of him on your wall. Sunderland on a rare attack here. Oh, I thought he was going to shoot. Arsenal clear. That's what Sunderland need to do. They've got to get up the pitch. Keep the ball and move up the pitch. Because it's been wave after wave after wave of attack for Arsenal in this first 15 minutes of the second half. Rice driving forward. Looks like Sunderland are making a sub here. Isidore. Yeah. Couple of subs. Wow, they need to liven it up front a little bit. Brobby's coming on. I think Lefay's coming off. Adingra's coming on. I remember that Lefay. He was a proper hipster player 3 or 4 years ago. They used to... I don't really hear from them now, but there used to be a couple of like United fans on X who were like proper, you know, didn't look like they played football, that's fine, and looked like they were probably, you know, 20, 21, and they talk about everybody like they watched everything, like Portuguese second league and all that. Lefay was definitely one of those players that they used to go, oh, this guy's a baller, let's get him. So it's interesting. I mean, look, maybe he still will be a baller, but Sunderland. Ripper says, even if Sunderland lose, I'm happy Arsenal have conceded. I mean, that is a hell of a thing for Arsenal, isn't it? When people are, the only win is that you concede a goal. But look, there's still time. Chelsea team news is out. And I'll give it you now. Sanchez, Gusto. Oh, he's at the bar! Is he? My God, what? The keeper there has punched that like a bloody butterfly. One, I think he should catch it. It's a crap punch right to the edge of the box. Zubamendi controls it and volleys it and smashes the Demba. But keeper, I think he's got to be a little bit more switched on than that in that situation. Anyway, Chelsea's starting lineup. Sanchez, Gusto, Fofana, Chalobah, Cucurella, Caicedo, Enzo, João Pedro, Neto, Garnacho, and Delap. And look, Chelsea fans, whatever you think about Maresca, and I think Esteban and Gittins are way more exciting, he's going to continue to pick Garnacho and Neto for the defensive work. Esteban and Gittins on the bench. Another free kick here for Arsenal. Chance to whip another cross in. This is a crazy stat if it's true. Zana says Haaland has only been caught offside 18 times in the last 4 years and none this season. How does he do that? Nick P says, did you ever do anything superhuman as a kid? I remember talking to a friend and I put my hand out and caught a tennis ball out of nowhere. I don't remember. Don't remember doing anything superpowers, no. Parker says, why would Amram take out only proper midfielder off Casemiro? Maybe he likes Bruno. Apparently Casemiro had a knock. I was going to talk about that at 8 o'clock. Oh, right on the keeper, and the referee's given a foul. I suppose the reason Haaland doesn't get caught offside is maybe because he backs himself to be so quick that he doesn't bother trying to run early. Obviously, he's got immense timing as well. Sunderland haven't had a shot on target in this second half. That's well won. That's well won. No, why did he stop there? You were actually running into space and he stopped. Rudolph the Red says, are Sunderland going to hold on? It's going to be a long 25 minutes or so. Another long throw in here from Sunderland. Any long throws, says Peter. Just about to see one here. And absolutely bloody loads of them. We've definitely had more long throw-ins than shots. Which is sad. But that's where we are at the moment. I thought it was Phil Foden then. There's a Sunderland player rolling around the floor with an injury going. A Moreno winner would be funny and poetic considering he used to play for Newcastle, says Prof. What's your thoughts on United, says Liam? Well, I'm on the United stand at 8, but I think if it was a one-off, I'd be okay. Forest last week, but 2 weeks in a row to be 1-0 up at home, away from home, and completely be shit in the second half. I just think, yeah, but we don't even play in Europe. We've got a whole week to prepare for a game, and we fall off in the second half for the second week running. I just think, what progress, what change? There is some progress, but is it? You can't just say we're better than last season. Like, these are just stupid points to be dropping. That's an interesting ball. Oh, good defending by Arsenal. And he gives a free kick. Mate, just let the game flow. I think Sunderland have had a better 10 minutes here. It's since the goal's gone in, I don't know whether mentally Arsenal have just stopped committing players forward and gone a little bit more pragmatic, but it felt like Arsenal would just kick on and get the second goal. But in the last 5 minutes or so, Sunderland have actually had a little bit more in Arsenal's half. So, look, it's not impossible that Sunderland get a point here. Larry says somehow, some way, Wolves will get their first win tonight. Sunderland just need to be careful of the break because Arsenal are getting numbers forward, and this could be keepers there. No worry, thought Ezzy might get on the end of it. Thanks everyone for tuning in. 12,500 of you. Don't forget Man City, Liverpool tomorrow night. And next weekend, we will be live all day on the Saturday for our charity stream. Another player down injured here now. Zubimendi. Michael Bow says, ironically, Arsenal won titles and trophies decades ago playing this way and weren't called boring. They bloody well were, Michael. I remember the songs in the early 90s. Boring, boring, Arsenal. George Graham used to get Arsenal used to get called boring under George Graham, mate. 100%. I vividly remember that. And they were boring. I remember, like, as a kid, like, especially when you were at secondary school, football on the telly wasn't always on the telly. And so you'd watch it when it was on. I remember Arsenal, I don't know whether it was the UEFA Cup or the Cup Winners' Cup. They won it. And they had, like, John Jensen playing and Schwartz playing, who was Swedish. And they literally would just win 1-0 over 2 legs. It was, like, so boring to watch. But you'd watch it because it was football on the telly, and we didn't have as much football on the telly back in them days. And, yeah, they were very, very boring. TG says, anti-football, 90 seconds for every throw-in or corner, then spend the rest of the game playing for set pieces. This game, honestly, it's a separate conversation, but the amount of long throws, set pieces, stop-start, it's It's great when you're doing a watch-along because you can just have loads of different conversations, but it's not scintillating, is it? It's another game in the Premier League where I'm going to have to say it's not going to go down in the memory book. But for the teams involved, it's about getting the points, isn't it? I just like watching football when the ball's in play. Trossard, what is he doing? Goal. Crap defending by Sunderland. Why you're marking Trossard on the edge of the box, then you run away from him? I don't know. But that's an absolute banger on bonfire night from Trossard. Well timed. Crap defending. Brilliant finish. Watch the defender here. He's literally marking him, and then he runs away. But you can't take it away from Trossard. It's an absolute banger of a goal. And at this level, I often wonder why we don't see enough of these goals, because a top-class player on the edge of the box with a free shot in training will put it in the top corner all the time. But, yeah, he just gets a yard on him, doesn't he? The number 27... He just messes. He loses concentration and starts pointing, and at that point, he's lost him. God, it's a great goal. Keeper can't get there. It's a brilliant, brilliant finish by Trossard. But at this level, you can't defend like that. You can't give a player that. And I think that you know, that's the difference between Arsenal and Sunderland, isn't it? Sunderland on both goals have made naive mistakes that you can't make at the top level, and that's why Arsenal are top of the league, and that's why Sunderland are losing 2-1. Trossard channeling Shearer. We are inevitable mentality monsters, says True Gent. Well, I mean, look, nobody wants to be 1-0 down at half-time, but in a way, being 1-0 down, coming back and winning, Arsenal conceding a goal for the first time in ages, Arsenal being behind at half-time for the first time in ages, and winning the game, it is yet another statement of intent. Like, what is it? What obstacle can we not overcome? And that's the situation they're in at the moment. Neil Harrison, thanks for joining the Members Club and getting your badge in. Default 66 says, I'm baffled why Chelsea or United didn't go for Osman. Both clubs have spent nearly 400 million since 2023, and number 9, not one of them went for him. It's almost like they're trying to be too clever. Wages, mate, it's the tax in Turkey means that to buy him and bring him into England, I think to match what he gets in Turkey, you'd have to give him about 400 grand a week, I think. Might have been more. Because they're taxed so low in Turkey that, and obviously there is a tax in the UK, you'd have to pay him ridiculous money. So yeah. And now Arsenal with what, 15 minutes to go, 2-1 up, can just rely on what we know is the best defence in the league. Thanks for your super chat, Neil. We have got an 8 PM show on the United Stand. I will set it up in a moment. I will be doing a match reaction to this as well, because I think it's a significant result if it stays like this. I was just trying to... Oh, there it is. Yeah. I mean, Sunderland have had 1 shot on target and Arsenal have had 6. Charity for Jamaica says 876J. Sunderland are solid, to be fair, but just no endurance, in my opinion, says a true gent. So Sunderland about to whip this cross in. It's an interesting one, but it's good defending. And that is going to go out, surely. No, he's kept it in. Well. And Sunderland will launch a long throw in here. Why wouldn't they? Well, the Arteta crowd might be a little bit disjointed tonight. I'm not even going to go down that road. Raya getting it out. Raya did really well there, didn't he? I missed that. And so did Robbie. The 2-3 bits of goalkeeping. Brilliant there from Raya. All came from a long throw in. They might have given a handball for it anyway. Raya's the actual GOAT, says Larry. This is the thing about Arsenal, though. Like, it's the whole package. It's the goalkeeper, it's the defence, it's the midfielder, it's the midfield, it's the attack, the manager. And as they've shown to us tonight, they've got an answer for everything at the moment. Reminds me of me as a kid. There's another player down injured here. Trossard versus Mudryk debate, thoughts, Mark, says Neil. Well, there is no debate, is there? Trossard actually plays football and is decent, and Mudryk was a massive flop before he got banned. So there is no debate to be had there. But this is absolutely fantastic from Arsenal, you know. I predicted they would win the league. I think they're going to win the league. And I would prefer them to win the league over Liverpool and Man City because they're bigger rivals to United. But I would have liked Sunderland to take points off them because I don't want the title to be won by Christmas. It's boring. And I'm not an Arsenal fan, so I want a title race. But on the other hand, you can't argue with the fact that their ability to get results is exactly what titles are made of. And whilst it's still ridiculously early in the season, they do have an answer to everything at the moment. Todd Bowley first 2 accusations, 200 million on midfield. Someone at Chelsea put him right, says Nicholas. Thank you very much. Still a great goal by Trossard, though. The trajectory, the power. You can't blame the keeper for that at all. You just can't get across quick enough. This feels like a statement win if they see it through. You know a team's going to win the league when they concede a goal and everyone's shocked, says Nick P. Look, I still think the big game tomorrow, Man City, Liverpool, best result for Arsenal is a draw because they will definitely have an 8-point gap on Man City and a 9-point gap on Liverpool, which is very, very big. They then come back after the international break. They play Spurs at home, Bayern at home, Chelsea away. If they win all 3 of those, psychologically, I think that's a huge blow to everybody, Man City, Liverpool. So that's Arsenal at the moment are obsessive in every game they're playing. And I And the big thing for them today is to win without Gyökeres as well. They struggled in the first half. There was a naivety from Sunderland, definitely. I don't know what they were doing on the equaliser, why they were playing out from the back, and nobody around the players that the goalkeeper was playing to either. They just got swamped by a press, and I don't know where the rest of the Sunderland team were. But that's obviously a stylistic thing. There could be attack here for Sunderland, though. Arsenal putting the work in to get back. Alex says, anyone who says Arteta out isn't a true Arsenal fan. I don't believe there is. I mean, you hear about it, and I have a little bit of a banter because I used to love doing it. Arteta out, you know, when they're a bit shit. But I don't genuinely believe you. I don't see how you could be a fan of that football. Like you say, Callum, how can you be a fan of the club that you're meant to support and be manager out when you're doing this? Like, look what you did against, was it Madrid, Atletico Madrid, where you scored 4 goals in 10 minutes when they had to open up. I mean, Arsenal can win games in all sorts of different ways. Brilliant by Raya again. I don't know why the other player didn't hit that first time. Bit strange. Raya's holding his arm. It's a little bit strange why... let's have a look at this. It's a lovely ball. He's probably not right-footed, is he? But I feel that he's tried to play the striker in, and he probably should hit this himself. I think he was trying to take it down, to be fair. I don't think it was a pass. I think he was trying to take it down and into his stride, but... I was going to say that it didn't, to me, look like the pass was even on. Anyway, this game is flying by. We've got only got 5 minutes of normal time left. Fireworks. It's very noisy. Could do some fireworks in Sunderland. Where's he going? If Sunderland can just sustain a little bit of pressure in this final third. Interesting ball. Well headed away by Saliba. Eze. Sunderland have it back. Can he get to put the cross in? Again, Saliba's there. That's the trouble, even when you can put a cross in against Arsenal. Another substitution for Sunderland. Mayenda coming on. And I think Arsenal are going to make a sub as well with Eze going off. But the brilliance of this game is if Arsenal can get over the line, and I think they will, you've got them 3 points on the board that psychologically say to Liverpool and Man City, look at what we've done and you've not even played. Exactly what they did last week. And it's a defensive substitution with Eze going off and Mascara coming on. So Arteta not afraid to park the bus and chuck a defender on. Long throw. Headed away. Thankfully, none of these long throw-ins have actually done anything, have they? You'd almost look at it and go, it hasn't actually worked. For all these stoppage and towels and bollocks. Gyökeres, Martinelli, Jesus, Odegaard and Havertz all out, says Neil Harrison. Give Trossard another pay rise, 9 points clear. Come on, you Gunners, says Damilo. Pressure will get to Arsenal, same way it always does, says C. Moodley. But not like, I mean, okay, they might get a bit of pressure, but pressure, what? Pressure? What pressure? When you're 9-10 points clear, and they've been second 3 years in a row, and they've been to a Champions League semi-final, pressure only hits you if you're under pressure. Where does the pressure come from? You feel more pressure when someone's breathing down your neck. Declan Rice has gone for a worldie, and it's gone wide. I tell you what, he was in his own half. He went for it. He got the distance. He got the heights. He just didn't get the accuracy. Watch this. Wouldn't have been as good as Beckham's. Keeper might have got there. But it wasn't a bad effort. It was not a bad effort at all. Would have held the Premier League record for most consecutive wins with clean sheets, but will take the 3 points, says Jamie. 7 minutes added on. It's a lot, isn't it? 16 minutes altogether of added time. I might have to put the 8 o'clock show back to 8:15 because I need to eat. It'll be fine. Solar Panel says, why have we got 7 minutes? Should be 3 max. I haven't seen that many stoppages in this game. A lot of people not happy with 7 minutes. I think you'd be all right, Arsenal fans. I know, obviously, the sooner the game ends, the better for you, but I don't think Sunderland are really exerting enough pressure on you to be worried. Morn says, why do people say that you support Arsenal? I don't know. I think like, you know, that's football is the biggest independent football community arguably in the world, and I don't do United stuff on here, so I watch football, we watch football together, and we, you know, some of us are quite pragmatic in the fact that when you're giving up your time watching teams that aren't you, then, you know, you can have somewhat unbiased opinions. But obviously I would want Arsenal to win the league over Liverpool and Man City, because Liverpool are our biggest rival and Man City are Man City. So I couldn't stand Arsenal in the late 90s and the early noughties because they were our biggest rival then, but strange cross. Good header, Calafiori. Rice won't get there. Toughest game this season against Sunderland. Wow, says Touch of Awesome. Need Xhaka as United midfielder and 2 others this January, says Chib. Yeah, Xhaka's never going to come and play for Man United, but he's been a very good signing for Sunderland. And I think that's something I remember speaking about last year with 3 teams for the last 2 years, the 3 newly promoted teams have been relegated, and we were talking about what you need to stay up. Obviously, you need to spend well, and Sunderland have done that. But I think the Xhaka signing as well is very intelligent in the sense that Premier League proven experience does do you well. Sunderland aren't going to... I don't think Sunderland are going to get Champions League football, but then it's certainly not going to go down. And they're going to equalise! Oh my God! 2-2! Unbelievable! Brobby! Mr. Brobby! Absolutely brilliant! I tell you what, I've just jinxed Arsenal. I said I don't think Sunderland are going to equalise. Route 1... Unbelievable stuff. Wow. 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 I tell you what. Arsenal are moaning. Arsenal are moaning here. And I don't know what they're moaning about. And it will be very controversial. Very, very controversial. If this is not given. Because I can't see what the moan is. Cross comes in. He's pulling... No, he's pulling his shirt. High foot, maybe. I tell you what, there might be a case for that. But he's pulling the shirt of Brobby. Surely that might cancel it out. I tell you what, it's going to be a big moment here if this is not given. I think you've got to give that. In the context of the Premier League, last-minute equaliser, I think you've got to give that. It is a bit of a high foot, and I think everywhere on the pitch, you might have a moan about it. But I think you've got to give that. The goal's been given. The goal's been given. Gabriel's pulling Brobby like that, which sort of forces him to do what he's got to do as well. Yeah, he's not happy. Oh, massive applause for Sunderland here. Massive applause. Huge applause. To stay unbeaten at home as well, against the best team in the league. And to stay fighting. Fantastic game. I mean, I don't think it's been a fantastic game in relation to the quality of the football, but it's definitely kept us entertained. It's not over yet. It'd be a kick in the nuts for Arsenal, though. I mean, to come back from 1-0 down, to get the game won, and then concede. But they've had to battle for this. I mean, Trossard's goal was out of... I wouldn't say it was out of nothing, but it was a bloody good goal. There's not been multiple chances, clear-cut chances for Arsenal. As I said before, I think they've missed Gyökeres. I really think they've missed a striker. I don't think Moreno's really offered that much. So good cross by Saka. That's a goal. Oh, what defending by Sunderland. Calafiori on the back post. I thought it was a goal. Very good save by the keeper. And then a block by Ballard. Keeper made himself big. But this block from Moreno. Very good. Very good. Arsenal conceding to Mr. Blobby. Says new. Yeah, Mr. Brobby. Pressure, what pressure? Masters of their own demise, says Moodley. Who's under more pressure to win their domestic league, Arteta or Diego Simeone? Well, Simeone's not going to win it, is he? Jay, come on. Anyway, Arsenal on a corner in the last minute. Saka, it's a good corner. It's in there. It's out. And Rice. Oh, I tell you what, he nearly slipped. It's a really bad moment there. I mean, Sunderland could have been on the attack. The bottle jobbers begin, says Jay. I mean, this is a fantastic result for the league, isn't it? in the title race. Opens the door for the game tomorrow. I mean, Man City and Liverpool go and draw now. Ballard, man of the match. I think he deserves it for that block and the first goal. But here's Saka. It's not over. Tell you what, if Declan Rice had slipped properly there and Sunderland had ran through and won it. Whew. Arsenal looking for one more attack. Referee's not got his whistle yet. They're there. Keeper's got hold of it. It's going to go long. And the referee blows the whistle. Fantastic game of football. You can't argue with it. You can't argue with the result. I think it's a fair result at the end of the day. And look, Arsenal will be disappointed having put themselves in a situation to win. But I think Sunderland deserves something there. Thanks everyone for tuning in as always. Please do subscribe to the channel. We're back with Man City against Liverpool tomorrow. And that is an opportunity because Arsenal on 26 means that if either Liverpool or Man City to win, they could close the gap on Arsenal from where they were this morning. Arteta doesn't look particularly happy, but look, 2 goals conceded for Arsenal. They've almost doubled what they conceded before this. They've conceded 5 now. I'm going to do a quick match reaction, then I'm on the United stand talking about what progress. We'll speak about that as well. Take care, everyone.